Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be ranking all of my controllers. Can't give you a demonstration as they're there's a lot. I have a lot that it literally goes up to all the way up my steps. That's how many there is, and there's a total of 4 steps, so you know what I mean, like stairs, like bunk bed stairs. This is my bunk bed right here. Okay, anyways, let's begin. Let me go get the first one, which I have to stand up and go get. It's very far, and it is a pretty bad one. It's the worst controller of all of them. It's also wired. Here's the wire. Ooh. Here it is. It is. Don't know what number. It's pretty trashy. It's light. I mean, it's good for portability because it's light. And the buttons are okay. Kind of like there's only one good. There's like 2 buttons here that are good, and the other are mushy. I'm talking about this one. Look at this. This button is, I don't know. Plastic is pretty bad. I like the red though. And the white, I think that's a sticker. I don't know. It's bad. It's really bad. Now let me go get the next controller, which I still can't reach. I have to stand up to go get it. It's not wired. It is handheld. Here is my sup, which is reflection. It's reflecting the rest of the bunk bed. See, there's my bunk bed right there. So the sup, it's a pretty cool controller. This, well, it's a handheld technically, but it's a controller because controllers have buttons, and these have buttons. It has the whole layout. It's a D-pad. Everybody knows the D-pad. It's still used to today's controllers. Even the newest consoles, like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, still use these. And the simple X, Y, A, and A, B, X, Y, you know what I mean? This layout. Anyways, this is it's pretty trash, the quality. I'm not talking about the controller. The way we're ranking these are obviously the quality, like the plastic, the weight, the thing, if it has some good weight, or if it's just too heavy. The size, the quality of the buttons, and that's about it. It's a pretty cool thing. I've made a couple of videos. I think I made like 5 videos. I have a whole playlist about it. So yeah, that's how good this thing is. People say that it's illegal, but it's fine. You see, look, it's just because, you know, it's China. They do that. They like to do that. Next up is another trashy controller. This may be the last video you'll see this controller. We're getting rid of it because it's trashy. That's why. It's literally the 3rd last one. Here we go. This controller, you might recognize it because it was in the last video, obviously. This thing is pretty trashy. The brand, I don't know. I have another one and it's way better. It's ranked as a good controller, but look at this thing. The shape is pretty good, I'd say. Look at this. Nice to the hands. I like the front plastic. The back plastic is nice and smooth. It's that nice smooth texture on the front. I like the shading where it goes red to black, like the transition. Has this very nice glossy Mario. Buttons, I wish they lit up. This little light here, that's pretty cool. I like the joysticks. I feel okay. I probably would have ranked this better, but there's obviously some bad things. This buttons, the buttons over here are okay. The D-pad is overall, it's too hard, and it's also very bad. Just bad. It's also really lightweight. This thing is so light. It's bad. They try to make the digital triggers look analog like Xbox or PS4 controllers, but no, it's digital. It's a button. The shoulders are okay. I like the glossy on the top. That's a pretty cool thing that I wish more controllers had. The gloss on the top of the controller. It has a headphone jack. I only used it once, and it crashed the software. There's some extra buttons. I don't know how to use them or map them, but they do work on some things. Like I can press this button and it mines blocks for me in Minecraft. That's pretty cool and neat. But that's the only controller that I have. Also, this controller's... I really hate that it's so light. The wire's not even long. It's very stiff. It's not like this. This is a nice, bendable, flexible wire. Let me show you. Here's a good example. It's really, really stiff. This one is not stiff because this is a different controller, but it's way more stiff than that. It's really stiff. It's bad. So that's this controller. Let's move on. We finished row number 1 of stairs. Moving on to, now I don't have to stand up to grab my controllers. Next up is, well, it's not a controller again. It's, well, I don't think it's a handheld either, but it's this Pacman machine. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I've included them in these rankings because, well, it's a controller. It has a joystick. It has a couple buttons and technically a controller. You can call Atari a control. The Atari 2600 has the same joystick and one button. That's what they had back then. Now we have like a billion buttons. Here's what we have. We have now these spare buttons. We have shoulder. We have triggers. We have XYZ. And the Switch even has more because these buttons here. This one, it's pretty simple. Just simple joystick. The joystick's pretty trash. It's small. It's supposed to be. It's cool for display. Look at this. It just looks cool. It's not the real. This is not what the real Pacman arcade machine actually looks like. It looks. Well, the Pacman doesn't look like this before. He used to look. I don't know. He just looks creepy. The graphics, they're okay. They're better than the Atari 2600, definitely. You can see here. It's okay. It's not the best. It's pretty trashy graphics. Not 8-bit. It's worse than 8-bit. I think it is 8-bit. I don't know. I don't know what the graphics are. It doesn't say how good the graphics are. Definitely not 16-bit. But now moving on to, I guess, another one. Here's the TetRis one, which video still didn't get any views. But, oh, that's bad. There's a giant mark in the sticker. So this one is better because, first of all, there's more buttons. Here's this one. It only has 2 here. This one has 3 because you have to do this when you're controlling it. This is not what TetRis looks like. Also, the start doesn't turn it on. See on this one, the start turns it on. I like the red. Red looks really nice. The yellow also does too. And I just rate this higher because, first of all, the graphics are better. The screen is bigger. It has more buttons. See, the joystick is much better. And that's all it is that makes it better. Moving on to the first handheld. Here it is. It's the GBA SP. Seen this a couple times. It's also fixed now. Look at this. The screen is fixed. I used to have this big broken LCD. Now, obviously, it's way better than these. Because first of all, it's more portable. You can literally fit this in your pocket. I mean, it's kind of wide for your pocket, but yet phones are pretty wide. It's the same with this one. You have all your buttons. It is a bit cramped. I can see why. Big hands here. It has a brightness button, which is pretty useless, but it actually works. Everything works. It has shoulder buttons, which makes it way better. It also has more buttons. This one has 9, and this one has 10, if you include this brightness button as a button. Overall, this looks better in style. Look at this. People are gonna think, oh, is that the Galaxy Z Flip? No, it's not. I wish it was, but it's not. But yeah, it's still pretty cool. Yeah. Let's move on to one of my first consoles ever. Well, first we gotta take a look at this ripoff of it, and that is this fake Wiimote. Yeah, has no battery, so it doesn't light up, but it's actually a pretty good knockoff. I like it actually more because it actually goes in all the way. You focus. Look at this. This goes in all the way. All the buttons go in all the way, except for the home button. The plus and minus don't feel. The D-pad is actually, I feel it's better actually compared to the real one. The triggers it's a bit stiff. It still has the glossy. The speaker's a bit more compressed. The rubber doesn't have the sinkhole. Not the sinkhole like a sinkhole. The button you'll press to sink it. Okay, that's this thing. Let's move on to the actual real one. Here it is, the Wii Motion Plus Wiimote. I can show you why. Here it is. Let me focus to see it. You see that doesn't go in all the way. But yeah. So yeah, that's it for these things. They're pretty cool. They weren't as cool as Joycons, but they're pretty cool. Speaking of Joycons, here are Joycons. Right here. Got red and blue. Or neon blue and neon red. These are pretty cool, except mine is broken. You had to replace the joystick twice. And yet, it's still broken. And the R button is broken, and some games force you to use the R button. You can see it's broken because click this, it's not turning on. Normally click it on a normal controller, it actually turns it on. You can also see there's like some paint messed up. So this one has less. This one is in better condition than this one. Probably gonna sell this and then, or just, yeah, sell it for parts and then buy just the same controller, brand new and stuff in the box. Since, you know, Joy-Con drift kind of messed this thing up. So you see a controller listed. It's probably this one. Okay, so that's it for Joy-Cons. Well, not really. I haven't told you why these things are really, well, not as great as the rest. There's still a lot to go. So first of all, they're pretty small. They're really cramped when playing in handheld mode like this. And you have to hold the 8 button, and I put an indent in my finger because of how, well, how smushed it is. And yeah, kind of sucks. Things that really help is like this grip. It doesn't really help much, but it does actually help make the controller better. Especially when it comes in the box, which is pretty cool. There you go. You can see I got all the access. It's not comfortable. I have to really move my finger up, make it like that. You see, like it's really like it's bad. It's not as good as an Xbox controller. But there's some grips that actually help. Here's one of them. Here is one. Here is this one. This one actually helps a lot. You can see it's really nice in the hands and it works. This one is a pretty good one. One that is not good is these straps. They get stuck. They also kind of make the controller too big. I don't know. It's just really bad. Another one is this wheel. It's a bit too small. It kind of sucks. It's not as good. Let me get one. Here's one. A Wii wheel. This is nice and big for the hands because, well, the Wii remotes were bigger than the Joy-Cons. I mean, look at this dramatic size comparison. Joy-Cons are so small. And this actually fits. Except, well, I can't. To really stretch over here. To really, oof. Yeah, that kind of sucks. You know what I wished happened? You put this and this together. So you have the analog triggers, yet you have these good grip. That would be cool. But, you know, instead you have to put on the trash strap like this. Then you have to get this thing. And you have to go boom like that. And you have these trashy triggers that are not analog because the Switch went digital buttons really sucks since I prefer analog since I play Xbox. So yeah, that's it for the Joy-Cons. Oh, one other thing is these grips are pretty nice. I like them. I like the black ones. They're pretty cool. They actually help my hands. They're just cool. See, they actually they help. The only downside is, well, I get my palms get pretty sweaty with this. So yeah, that's a pretty cool grip. I prefer this black one over the blue one. It's much better. It just doesn't look as good. Doesn't look as cool. Which one do you prefer? I don't know. If you like this, if you like it, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I've been talking too much on this stupid Joy-Cons. Joy-Cons are trash anyways. Let's move on to one of our newest controllers, and that is this Rock Candy Nintendo Switch controller. Now, what vibes are you getting? Gonna give you a second. Xbox controller. Look at this. This just looks like an Xbox controller. It's triggering me. It's a worser Xbox controller because the grips are so small. The only thing that's good is these joysticks. It feels so nice compared to the Xbox. Look at this. Too bad it doesn't have rubber. It just says plastic, but it does have the shape of it. D-pad is not as good because it doesn't click. I don't know why they put the buttons on the top. They literally copy the same exact shape for the shoulder buttons. It just doesn't even click as good. These analog triggers don't click so good. Look at this. What is this? These buttons are so small. They literally stole the same font. This thing. It clicks pretty good. The joysticks are good. They stole the shape from the Xbox and they kind of changed it a bit and then make it a Nintendo Switch controller. This thing's trash. Anyways, let's move on. Game & Watch. Look at this thing. Oh shoot. This thing's pretty nice. I said it was nice. I literally put in the title of the video and I made it. Yeah, look at this. I like the gold. Obviously, it's using Famicom colors. Look at this. It's so nice. And they also went USB Type-C. The buttons feel really nice. The only downside is this D-pad is small, but that's because, you know, they're trying to go like the original Game & Watch was had a pretty small, well, not the original, but there's multiple versions of the Game & Watch, And some Game & Watch, I think there's like one Game & Watch that had a D-pad, and I heard it was like one of the first D-pads ever. That's pretty cool. Has all the buttons. It has like, it looks like one of those Game & Watches. There's multiple versions, but this one looks more like a specific one. So yeah, that's the Game & Watch. Anyways, from that triggering controller, moving on to the final 3 controllers. Next up is my daily controller I'm gonna be using. I already made a video on this yesterday. Yeah. Okay, so where do I start off? Well, these joysticks are enormous. Just telling you. Look at this. What is this? They don't have like that concave kind of thing they're going with, like this. I don't want to look at that thing. But anyways, they don't have like this. Also, one thing I noticed is that these are both made by PowerA, and yet this controller is 20 times better than this thing. I mean, yeah, look, PowerA. There we go. PowerA. Yeah, that's a weird thing. You can definitely just tell. Look, the font is the same on the buttons. The D-pad is exactly the same. The buttons, the same exact buttons. They use the same ones. Except for these ones. This one's much better quality overall. They have the same, like, they use the same type of thing. The thing I like better is this is like glossy and nice and fat, but this one, it's square. It's has like the trashy plastic kind of look, and it's not glossy, and it's also not fat. It's really squared. It just doesn't look as good. But overall, this controller is pretty good, which is why this is the controller I'm going to be using. It's a pretty good one. It has 10-foot long cable, unlike this 6-foot long. 6 or 7 or 5. I don't know. It's one of those. This one actually has the Switch logo, which makes it feel better. And I like the color black. It really stands out compared to this red and black. Other than this plastic feeling, smooth, which I kind of like smooth over this. It's smooth, but it's like not the same type of smooth. The D-pad is definitely not hard, which is better. These joysticks are okay. I don't like that they're big, fat joysticks. It's not good, but they click pretty nice. Buttons feel nice, not hard like this one. Yeah, this is a pretty nice one. It's a pretty nice wired controller. You can get it. Now, one thing is that this costs $20 and this costs also $20. But yet this is way better. It's more weighty. Look at this. This is cheap, light. Joysticks are obviously better on this one, but this one sounds better. This one feels better. Yeah. So, yeah, better option, obviously. This one was from GameStop. This one was from Walmart. So you can definitely tell the difference. Another GameStop controller we have. We have a lot of wired controllers for the Switch, more than wireless. The only wireless we have is really the Joycons. The Wii, they have to have Wiimotes. So here is our Gamecube controller, which we actually did a video on. Now, one thing is that this is actually the same brand that made this one, PDP. This one, PDP. But this controller, they actually branded it as a GameCube controller. At least I think so, from what I remember. I haven't watched the video. It's been a while, long while, before this bunk bed was a thing. We had the different layout. Videos were made on the bed. Now it's made on the floor. Good old days. But this controller feels pretty good. It has a nice light when the controller is connected. The D-pad is trash. It's really annoying to me when I see this very, very dark joystick. It's dirty. Look at it. It's disgusting. Also, the joystick is broken. You can see it's missing a plastic, so that's gonna have to be glued. Thing you can do is, there we go. You can detach the joysticks. Pretty cool. It has this Pikachu on the front. I really like these buttons on the back. They're definitely way better than these. Okay, so I think they branded it as a GameCube controller, unlike this thing. Oh, come on, this joystick keeps falling. This thing, they literally brand it as their own controller, but they literally stole the exact same shape as the Xbox One controller, which really is triggering, which is why I raged at it, because it's trash. Because the Xbox controller is #1, obviously. The last time we did this, it was #1 because it is the best controller I've ever felt. Now, I've actually felt a lot more controllers than this, but I don't own them. I played with a PS4 controller. I played FIFA 19. It's pretty fun. It was a lot smaller. You can definitely feel it. It was really nice. It felt nice. I've also played with a PS3, but that was a long time ago. The PS3 controller is actually with Cheapy Gaming, which we actually did a video not too long ago, but it's a really quick video. It's actually the shortest, what's it called? Puppy and Cheapy Adventures episode. I don't even know if you can call it an episode. There's not really much, just Puppy talking fast and stuff. But anyways, this controller is really good. The D-pad has a nice click to it. Joysticks feel really nice, have this nice click. The rubber is really nice. These buttons all feel nice. They have a nice design. This controller is still being made to this day. It has a nice click to the shoulders. The analog triggers are the best compared to this and this thing. And it can charge. The only downside is it uses double A's. I just want to, but I don't have the rechargeable packs with me or a charger. All the buttons feel good. Everything's good about this controller. Everything's good. The grips are good. It's triggering when I see this thing trying to copy the same design. That's it for this video. This video is too long. At least it's not as long as the other video. But anyway, see you in the next video. Also, I forgot there's a bonus controller. Here's a controller. It's not a controller. It's a phone. It's a cool flip phone. Old phone. Very nice. Yeah, it has nice buttons. Look at this. It's not a controller, but it doesn't count anyway. And I'll see you in the next video because, blah, 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 blah. Goodbye.